Hi, folks. I'm Jamie Hiles.
I'm Lydia Judy.
The D-Man.
That's true. He is the D-Man. This is Scream Bloody Movies, a podcast where we review a horror movie each week. We go over the horror news. And guys, tonight we take a trip into Hellfest. And it's going to be a good time. We got a lot to talk about for it, guys, because this is episode deuce of our Halloween quadrilogy. I think that's what it's called. But this is 2 of 4. We're halfway there, like Bon Jovi. Living on a prayer. How are you guys doing tonight?
Got it.
Doing good.
Living the dream. Like Nick.
I don't think anybody's going to get that, but that's okay.
I mean, if you grew up in the early 2000s and watched a lot of SportsCenter, then you will totally get it.
Yeah, but, that's a very niche audience.
I mean, Lydia was, born in the early 2000s, so...
Well, she was not, but...
No, not true.
Just like it's not true that you were, in your 50s in the 1960s. That's not true either. It's just something we say.
You're like
Why would you say that?
I feel like you were trying to, get a dig at me for being, a baby or something. But, even people who were born in the early 2000s are now adults.
It's disturbing.
Yes,
it's a disturbing trend.
Not known the reference because you would have been too young. Was the point?
It's a disturbing trend. I need to talk about this, guys. It's a serious moment. Disturbing trend that time keeps marching forward. I don't like it.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's bullshit, is what I'm saying. Bullshit. All right, guys, we've got a lot to talk about with Hellfest. But first, I'm going to take it back to the horror news, our favorite segment of the show. And I've got a pretty beefy lineup here. Not a lot of really super interesting stuff, but I think there's some stuff you guys are going to dig. Let's start with this. Elizabeth Moss has confirmed that they are still working on Invisible Man 2. They're just waiting for the right script. As you know, Invisible Man came out in early 2020. It was one of the last movies before the pandemic hit, and it was a huge hit. It made $144 million on a $7 million budget. I mean, this thing went like gangbusters, so much so that, they're like, Lee Wanell, make another one of our Universal Monster movies. And unfortunately, he made The Wolfman, which did not fare as good. But what do you guys think about Second Invisible Man?
Love it. If it was as good as quality as the first one, then I'm all for it.
Have you seen The Invisible Man? No.
Nope.
It's great. We have to do it on the show. We'll do it eventually. But yeah, it's really solid. It I was into it when it came out for sure. I didn't watch it in theaters, but it came, started streaming during the pandemic when everybody was at home, and I was like, So I watched it. It's this is a good one. Derek, this news is right up your alley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you said it like that.
I don't know either, but it made me think of, I don't know why, but it made me think of Satan's Alley from.
I know you're but you went, mm-hmm. Kind of disturbing. Anyway, Devon Sawa has joined the cast of the Return of the Living Dead sequel that is being made.
Nice.
Okay.
So as you know, we talked about it. There's a couple different Return of the Living Dead sequels being made. This is the one with director Steve Walsh. This is the bigger budget one. And he will star alongside Isaac Horton, or he'll play Isaac Horton alongside Cash Juliet and Neely Hyman. And then Alexander Ward will play he'll play Tarman in it. The new story takes place in a small Pennsylvania town over Christmas, and it's set in 1985, 18 months after the events of the original one.
Whoa.
So that sounds fun. A period piece, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm always up to revisit the 80s.
Man, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and there's also a this is interesting. There's also a competing one we talked about, more of a fan one with Leanna Quigley playing her character. That one I don't know about. that sounds fun. It's been a while since we had a real Return of the Living Dead movie. I mean, it's been a long time, right? Since they had those terrible sci-fi original movies, which we don't count those, but they were pretty bad. Lydia, now I got some news for you. So, you guys are killing me. R.L. Stine's Pumpkinhead is coming out, and it's being described as a classic Goosebumps episode.
Yeah.
It is coming on Tubi. It is, which will be streaming free, and it's an adaptation of the same title episode from R.L. Stine's Haunting Hour. So that sounds fun, right?
Love it. Pumpkinhead, of course.
Pumpkinhead. That's not the greatest name. I mean, it's already been taken. R.L. Stine, you son of a bitch. But speaking of Goosebumps, guys, this is a red alert because the original series is now available on Scholastic's free streaming app. The entire series available to watch.
That's awesome.
Dang it, man.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I remember when it came out.
Of course.
Yes.
All those years ago.
I love it. I love it so much.
Viewer beware, you're in for a scare. Yeah, it's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, everything that is old is new again because we have a pilot pickup for Very Young Frankenstein, starring Zach Galifianakis, Kumail Nanjiani, and Cary Elwes.
Yes, I heard about this. That should be pretty funny.
Should be good because it's being executive produced by Mel Brooks and the trio behind What We Do in the Shadows: Stephanie Robinson, Taika Waititi, and Garrett Bash.
Nice.
So
Absolutely.
it should be pretty good. We don't have plot details yet, but I mean, guys, we have to do Young Frankenstein eventually because it is a banger. It's one of the all-time bests. You excited to see a sequel, prequel series?
What'd you say?
What do you guys? I said, are you guys looking forward to this?
I am now. I hadn't heard of it, but it sounds good.
I just heard about it like today, I think, and I was like, "Whoa!" I don't even know like how. I hope it's so good. I hope it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't foresee it being awful with that pedigree and that cast attached.
Yeah.
I think it could be pretty good. I'm a little leery about. I'm kind of more nervous about Spaceballs 2 than I am this. Because, that's a big budget movie and it's a Josh Gad thing, and who knows, that could be hit or miss.
The quest for more money.
Yeah, I mean, Spaceballs holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts, but especially mine. I remember watching it as a kid. I remember renting it on VHS and just with my friends, they're staying the night, and we just laughed our asses off at that movie. Young Frankenstein, I'll never forget because I watched it a lot, but Uncle Jeff had a copy of Young Frankenstein. He let me borrow it. And so I was watching it and stuff. And then he would just pop up periodically and say, "Do you have my Young Frankenstein?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's right here. You want it?" "No, I'll just see if you still have it." "Okay, Uncle Jeff." So we created a whole character around him where Uncle Jeff used to have a Fu Manchu, so we used to call him Fu Manchu Man. And we wrote an entire pilot of a TV series where he rides around on his moped, fighting crime, and he's on a never-ending quest to get his VHS copy of Frankenstein. So stupid. We're some creative ones. And then last, some bad news-ish. I mean, it's just some news, but second to last. The Strangers Chapter 2 opened recently, 2 weeks ago as the time of this recording, and it did not go well. It opened with a whopping 5.
Whoa.
For context, The Strangers Chapter 1 from last year opened literally exactly double, $11.8 million. So
now, I don't watch a lot of television, but I have not seen any type of preview for it anywhere.
I have. It's been popping up. Yeah, it's been popping up quite often on if I'm watching TV, if I'm watching a football game, I get 2 Strangers ads. If I'm stupid ads on YouTube. I see them. Stranger Chapter 2. But it kind of snuck out. It came out before October. You guys probably didn't even know it was out.
No.
But it did not bode well. The reviews are even worse. It's sitting at a C Metacritic score, something like that, or a C audience score. Not good. This whole Strangers thing, because they shot 3 movies. They did a whole trilogy. They shot a whole trilogy. And after this response to the first one, they did reshoots on part 2. And it fared even worse. So I don't know what the future holds. Are they going to release this thing to VOD, like part 3? Or is it going to have a theatrical run, making only 5.9 mil in its opening weekend? It's yet to be seen. There's not a lot of hype behind these movies. That's for sure. It's the lowest grossing of all of the Strangers movies by a fair amount. You know, like the first Strangers opened to $20.9 million. And then the sequel, Pray at Night, opened to 10.4. Strangers Chapter 1, 11.8. And then this one at 5 million. So, like, it's pretty dire. Were you guys interested in this Strangers trilogy remake deal?
No, mostly because the first one, like, scared me pretty good. And I was like, yep, I'm going to leave that one alone.
First one's pretty solid.
We talked about it. It's got a terrible IMDb rating. I mean,
yeah,
they don't always get it right, but...
What's it at?
It is at a 4.9.
Yeah, not great. Not great. Yeah, I love Rennie Harlan. So that's, disappointed that it did bad. But when we heard about this idea and we covered it when we found out about it before the movies came out, we were scratching our heads like, why are they doing a trilogy of movies? Like, just the whole thing was kind of head scratching. But I don't know, didn't bode well. And then finally, last little bit of horror news is just a tiny bit, but the Nightmare on Elm Street 4K set has been released, and it's amazing. There's the regular set, and then they made a steelbook set, which they only made 15,000 of. That's sold out, of course, already, and they're gorgeous. But yeah, so go and pick those up. I have their regular set, and it's wonderful. And guys, guess what? The best part: Freddy's Dead comes with 3D glasses.
Nice.
Does it?
Yeah. So the end's actually in 3D for the first time in a long time.
Theaters?
Well, I think there was one DVD version that released it in 3D, but it's been like 20 years ago. The first time in high definition, for sure. So we've got to get together and check that out. That'll be fun. When we get to Freddy's Dead, we're getting close to it. We're on part 5, right? We are one away. Freddy's Dead is fucking not great, by the way. The movie blows, but it'll be fun when we get there. All right, guys, that wraps up the horror news. So, tell me, guys, either of you have seen Hellfest? This was your first time, right? You'd seen it?
I've seen it.
Okay, so you had seen it, but this was your first time, Derek.
Yep, first time.
When did you watch it first, Lydia?
I think I just watched it last year. Like, me and Jake just kind of stumbled upon it, and we were looking for a good Halloween movie, and this was like, oh, well, let's watch that.
Yeah, that's kind of how my situation went. It was a couple years ago. It was on Netflix. And I was going through trying to find a horror movie to watch, and I saw this, and it was a slasher, and I was like, let's check this out. And watched it and had some thoughts, but I'm going to share those with you now. I'm not going to tell you at the top. I know where I want to start with this one. I want to start with the setting and like just the conceit and concept of it overall, because I think it's a great concept for a slasher movie, and I would absolutely love to fucking go to Hellfest.
Yes.
Doesn't it look like the best place ever?
It really does look like the best. Like, the
best
funnest
place ever.
It would be an amazing, like, we have Hannah's Haunted Acres or Indie Scream Park, these sort of things. But this is like that turned up to 11. Like, some of the stuff, I mean, these different mazes and stuff. I was like, this is like a fucking legit haunt. I actually told Derek the other day that we should hit up a haunted house this year. Like, hey, we should hit up a haunt. I think that'd be fun. And then I watched this and I was like, Yeah, I definitely want to hit up a haunt because that's some fun shit. What do you guys
Yeah,
think of like the setting?
I love it so much. I feel like the only thing I have been to that's like that was the King's Island, like when they go all haunted for Halloween, and it was like nothing even close to this. It was a lot of fun, but this had such cool mazes and like scares and things that they were like interactive with.
I love the shots, by the way, that are syringes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Love those.
I think we kind of had some stuff like that at the Kings Island one too. That was kind of fun. And like the blood bags
Mm-hmm.
with the drinks in it. Yeah, those are so fun. But I was just shocked. I was like the whole time I was like, is this place real? Like
It's
I
not.
wanted to go there actually. I was like there's no reason why this couldn't be real. It looked like they set the whole thing up perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. Especially like when they get on like the cart
Yeah.
and go through that. I was like, oh man, this would be cool as hell.
Yeah.
Derek, what do you think of the setting?
I agree. I think it was a really great idea, and they did a great job of setting it up. It made you want to be there for sure. It definitely put you in the mood for the season that we're in. Like Jamie had talked about going to a scare park, which we have done. You know, we've done many times when we were younger. But yeah, I think it's a really great idea.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun idea, and like the way it's set up. Excuse me. The way it's set up is really interesting. Like
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of fun. How we have we get like the opening kill, which is a season before or several seasons before, a couple years before, at a different park, and you know, pretty good opening kill. What do you guys think? Sets it up, kind of
Yep.
sets the like kind of the stakes and what happens and everything. And then we're introduced to our like, what do you guys think of our cast of characters?
I love this cast. I really do. I actually really like all of them.
Yeah, I would agree. I think they're fun characters.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty well drawn for the most part. They're not. It's not Citizen Kane. It's a slasher movie, but they're pretty well drawn for being slasher movie characters. I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our lead, Natalie.
Natalie.
Yep, Natalie. She, just comes over here to visit her friend Brooke, and they're gonna have like a good time. They're grade school friends, so Taylor, the new best friend, calls her grade school, and they don't kind of get along at first. Taylor is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, she's a lot of fun.
She's too much fun sometimes for her own good.
Yeah, but she has fun.
Yeah.
And then, you have Gavin, who is this like nice guy who has a thing for Natalie. And then, you have Quinn and what's the other boy? What's Asher?
Asher.
Yeah. Quinn and Asher are the, Quinn is Brooke's boyfriend and Asher is Taylor's. And they kind of, they all just say, hey, let's go to Hellfest. And they have a good time. But it's actually pretty sweet, the little romance that starts between, Gavin and Natalie, right?
Yeah. So awkward and young and innocent.
And realistic, I feel like. Realistic.
Yeah.
When I watch those scenes, I'm like, that kind of feels like me a little bit in that time, Oh,
Yeah.
no.
You're like, I do not miss that.
I was awkward with my calculator, like putting in.
Derek, you did ask chicks if they were happening in far out ways.
I mean,
So you
I
were-
was like 8 when I did that, okay? I have an out.
How old were you with the calculator?
Let's just.
Let's just move on. Let's move on past this.
Hey, I was ahead of my time, okay? Like, we didn't have cell phones at that time that were, like, available that you could own in a practical way. But,
That's hilarious.
You know.
I wrote boobs on my calculator all the time. Boobs.
Of course.
I also wrote my name. If you put in 53714 and turn your calculator upside down, it spells Hiles.
Nice.
Yes.
That's pretty good. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
so I used to do that. Little trick for you out there at home if you just want to spell my last name for no reason. So, guys, let's talk about what do you want to talk about next? Let's talk about the other. Let's talk about the killer. His look. What do you guys think of his look?
Yeah, he's got an imposing presence about him. He's a bit of the silent type, and you never get a good look at his face. And he's got an MO. We find out, he does these fests. Was the original a Hellfest, or it was just?
I don't think so. It was just a haunt, I think.
A haunt, yeah. And as we go through, we find out that maybe 4 years ago wasn't his only time doing it, but he's got an MO. He's kind of a collector. He's got totems.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. What do you guys think of his look? Like, what do you think of the mask and stuff?
I think it's pretty good.
I think for me, it kind of grew on me. Like, I was like, a mask like that, of course. And then I was like, actually, pretty scary.
Yeah, it depends on
me.
I agree as time went on. When I first saw the mask, I also was I'm like, looks like somebody just shit on a rubber mask, it looks terrible. Like, where'd you stick that up your ass? I don't get it. And then in different lighting situations, it does look pretty creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, like, I love the scene where, she's going through when they're in the freaking ride. She's going through the tunnel ride, and it stops, and you see him approaching. And then the next thing,
the red flashing lights, He
looks
really
great.
In that.
It's also a great scare too, because you're like, oh, that's good. The tension's building pretty good, and then when he comes through and he's sitting on him, and then all the other ones surround him, it's good stuff. Because you're like, that's why he's wearing this mask, is because a bunch of other people in the haunt wear the mask,
so he'll blend in.
So he can blend in. Yeah, he can be anybody. So that's pretty cool. Let's start talking about. Go ahead, Derek.
That moment, I feel like I think he might have been like he might have worked there. Those masks were really specific for that that ride or whatever, that haunt. It would also give credence to, like, he knows the land if he were someone who worked there. These are just like little theories that got bubbling up inside.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of unknowns, which we'll get to here in a little bit, about him as a whole. But let's talk about these kills in set pieces. Let's talk about them, because there's actually a fake out set piece that I think is really good, that I'll talk about, because first of all, I think the bit where he kills the girl after she has basically told him that he's not scary, so he targets her.
Yeah.
And then that's when he locks on to Natalie, and kind of, because she confronts him and does the same thing, like, you're not scary, dude. Your girl's over there. And I think that's a pretty effective scene when he stabs her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With her watching, like, she's watching, like, just fucking do it already. Like, because she thinks it's all a show. And when he stabs her, she's like, that seemed a little too real to me. I want to get the fuck out of here. Mm-hmm. And that starts the whole thing. What do you guys think of this bit?
Yeah, I guess just don't tell someone who's trying to scare you that they're just not scary in that manner. Like, they're like, you thought he was working, like, he's just doing his job. It's a little harsh to be like, yeah, scary.
Yeah. Well, he did kind of like
go with the flow.
He did kind of bump into her before it was the touching thing, so he deserved it. But yeah, I think that's an effective scene, like, pretty scary. And the fact that we know that he's really killing her and she has no idea. And then we have the first fake out.
I mentioned this before.
Yeah.
Forget about it. I am really surprised that not a single one of them jumped to a karate dance when they got spooked by these people.
I didn't hear anything you just said, Derek.
Yeah, you were cutting out really bad. What did you say?
That's not going to work. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. What'd you say?
It was choppy.
Yeah, you were choppy. Yeah.
I said I'm amazed that not a single one of them jumped to a karate stance when they were...
Oh, karate stance? Yeah. Yeah.
Jamie,
yeah, I know.
From you, buddy.
No, I get it. I know what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay.
That's the only.
Well,
That's the only
because
explanation.
It just went over like a lead balloon. We're cutting that.
I think I call that the iconic effect for jokes.
It was good.
There's something going on with your like it's like lagging or something.
Yeah.
Your connection is a little choppy, so it's like any joke you try to make is probably not going to land when we're trying to. Welcome back.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Way better. What'd you do?
I I was using my phone for the microphone, but it's too unreliable, and so now I'm just using my headset.
We talk about this constantly. Or you could get a microphone. Just buy one.
I mean, that's
I don't know what's
just
going on
horseshit.
with my screen. My screen's really weird. Because you're like really long on the top. I don't know what's going on. It's fine. All right. Let's start again. Where were we? Yes. We were talking about the kills. There's actually a good set piece, like fake set piece that I like, that I'll talk about here in a second. What do you guys... Well, it's actually, I'm going to talk about it right now. I forgot. After he takes the photos of them, after they're making out in the phone booth, and he takes their pictures, and Brooke follows him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a very good fake set piece. Part of you's like, they're not going to kill the best friend this early, are they? But then you're also like, well, she is by herself.
Yeah.
She is isolated.
Yep.
What do you guys think of this scene?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, oh man, she's about to get killed so soon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Worked pretty well, right?
They faked us out. Yeah, she doesn't get killed right there, and you're like, oh, okay, I see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now we don't know what to, it's like they made it.
All bets are off.
Like,
yeah.
You can't predict what's gonna happen, which is unfortunately like most slasher movies. You're kind of like, oh, okay, you're gonna go in here, and there's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, and the way that they separated them is pretty like. So Gavin leaves to like. Gavin's death is interesting because he leaves to like, get her a stuffed animal because he sucks at all the games and he can't do it, but he really wants to win her an animal, which as you do. But what do you guys think of his death?
His death was crazy.
It's pretty gnarly, right?
Yeah.
Derek, this is your first time seeing this. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty creative. You've always wondered what would happen if you hit somebody's head with one of those giant hammers, and now we know.
Now?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I feel like it's a really, really cool death, but it's also like slightly unsatisfying because you're like, this guy did not put up a fight at all.
No, he went out like a bitch. He went out like a bitch.
He definitely did.
He really did.
See, the killer really saved what's her face from
Natalie.
From a bad beta male.
Fucking Derek's in a no spin zone over here. Oh my god, that's hilarious, Derek. No, he does not put up a fight though. You're absolutely right, Lydia. Like, first of all, like, I do like when he says cool and starts to walk away. Yeah. But like the fact that he just like gets tripped and he's like, what's wrong with you? Instead of like being like, what the fuck, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
First of all, I would have been like, yeah, you have my pictures or what? I'd be like, give me my fucking pictures.
Yeah.
Beat you to death.
Exactly.
Also, I would have been more scared that I was going to be in trouble for stealing stuffed animals, personally.
Yep.
I'd be like, whoa, dude.
He's like,
we're just going to call it cool.
You again.
We're just going to call it cool. You didn't see me here. Just grabbing a stuffed animal. I didn't see you. We're cool. Yeah, his is a good death. That's when we get like the one thing that is, so like they all leave him because he's like, oh, I'll catch up with you guys. And it always kind of bothered me that they like were just like, okay, he'll catch up. You know what I mean? That kind of
never tried to find him again.
Yeah, that kind of bothers me a little bit. I went with it for my suspension of disbelief, sure.
Well, that and the fact that he put his head on the
He does literally
ringer.
position it. That was a blocking issue. When I watched it, I said the exact same thing. Was like, that could have been blocked better. I see what they were trying to go for. He hits him in the
Yeah.
throat, so he's
Yeah.
crawling, and then he just happens to land. But like, it would have been more realistic if he just kind of was face down, on it or whatever, trying to
Yeah.
crawl up. But he goes, oh.
Let me just get my head like right
Is this the
up
right
here.
spot?
Yeah, is this where you want it? Yeah, I agree, but I digress. Like I said, it's fine.
It was so
I don't-
cool.
Yeah, it's still a really cool death, and I don't hate it. What about Asher's death? Because Asher's death happens next with the syringe to the eyeball.
Ooh,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
That was
Yeah, I bet
actually
that
pretty
freaked
good.
a lot of people out.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And not only does he stick the needle in the eyeball, but then he pushes the whole syringe into his eye.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
kill that doesn't usually work for me. The needle in the eyeball thing, I'm just like, I guess that one just doesn't bother me. Just,
Yeah.
A lot of things do, but that one's just not one of them. But this one, I kind of liked how it was shot and everything. So
Yeah, it looked good. Well, it's because of the extra oomph. Instead of just like a needle to the eye or whatever, he sticks him in it and then he pushes it down so the whole syringe
Yeah.
goes into his. That's what kills him, as opposed
prosthetic
to just
looked good. The acting
Mhm.
looked good. He was
Yep.
kind of twitching.
Yeah, he was good. He was afraid. It
Yeah.
was good stuff. The next two kills, we'll talk about the set pieces first, because the set piece I want to talk about the set piece in the bathroom with Natalie. I think this is a pretty good suspenseful set piece.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
I like when she's washing her hair or drying her hair and he's like reaching out for her. Shit, that's kind of fucking creepy.
It's so creepy.
Don't like that. Don't like that, my friend. And then the stall scene is really good. I mean, I can see where Halloween 2018 and this both came out the same year. They both have scenes in bathroom stalls like this. Halloween 2018 is more intense, obviously, because the Shape murders fucking two people in that bathroom. But this is pretty good. I like that she finally realizes that that he has Gavin's phone when she texts him and it bings. And at first she thinks it's Gavin, and then she sees the steel toe boot, so she realizes who it is.
That was a cool detail.
Yeah, it's good.
The
That's good
boot.
direction.
Yes.
Do you guys like this bathroom scene?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very
Yeah, pretty suspenseful. Yeah, you hit
Very
most of the
scary.
highlights, but yeah, it did its job. It's all right.
The only part
Mhm.
that I didn't like was that he just showed up like a ghost. Like very much like just like you see the wall, like she's like drying her hair, you see the doorway, you see her drying her hair, and then it looks back up immediately and he's just there, like supernatural style.
Yeah,
And
well,
I was
that's
like,
just that's slasher trope. That doesn't bother me. That's slasher trope. That's what
I
slasher
think it would've
villains
been
do.
creepier if he would have like come into it, but he just like bloop, just like
Yeah,
there
well,
all
it
of
was a
sudden.
jump scare. That's why I was there to just
Oh,
to cut to him, and we're like,
okay.
whoa. Yeah, I mean, he walked up. We just didn't see it, and then
Yeah.
she's there, and then when he disappears, he's in one of the stalls.
Yeah, I thought it was really creepy. Her like trying to escape and him reaching over the stall, like trying
grabbing
to
her
grab
head?
I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's so scary.
That's not good. Yeah,
Didn't
well,
like
she
that.
crawls underneath to get to the second one, and then he reaches over. And you're like, ugh. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good. She runs out of there, and she tries to gets to the least helpful security guard that's ever existed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get where he's coming from. Hey, lady, this is a haunt. What do you think's going to happen? People scared, but it's like, no, you don't understand. This dude, first of all, is in the ladies' room with a mask on, chasing me. Doesn't that seem weird? And he has my friend's phone, and my other friend's missing. He took my pictures. He's like, I think this is your buddy playing pranks. I would have said, listen, it's definitely not that, because newsflash, Gavin is the most fucking boring man alive. Just not him.
He's too much of a pussy to come into the ladies' restroom. Although, don't go into ladies' restrooms, guys. That's a no-go.
Oh my God, Derek's torching Gavin. You're no fan of him, Derek. No, I
You
think
always
he's a
gotta
nice
punch
kid.
down.
You gotta punch down. That's the rule of comedy, don't you know? punching down, not truth to power. Yeah, so that's a pretty good bit. Taylor's scene, we get a cameo by the great Tony Todd. Wasn't that great to see? He's fun.
Oh yeah.
Great.
You know, he's just that his voice is, you know, unfortunately he's passed away now, but man, so iconic, his voice.
Yeah, and not only that, but like his presence, his voice is also the voice of the whole Hellfest. Like he's the announcer of Hellfest and he's over the loudspeakers and stuff. So I thought that was going to be his cameo, and then when he shows up on that stage, I was like, "Oh, look, it's Tony Todd."
Yeah.
I got really excited the first time I watched it. I was like, "Ah!" Yeah, that stage show would be pretty fucking cool in real life. I'd be a fan of that.
Yeah.
I don't know how they made that dummy head of hers that quickly, though.
Right? They had like the SNL team with their wigs and stuff. They
Yeah.
were like, okay, this wig. Got it.
Yeah, got it.
Very specific haircut that I have actually had
Yeah.
before.
You have. Actually, there was a period on this podcast where you had that haircut. I like that haircut. It was pretty good. You know, that reminded me when you said that about like the SNL wigs. Reminded me of David Pumpkins when they're doing like the fucking the elevator of fear.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Is it going to be? How'd you get my severed head? Oh, that's probably why they took our pictures." And then David, who is David S. Pumpkins? It's so fucking funny. It's one of the best sketches ever. So good. We'll pop a very tiny clip of it right here so we don't get demonetized. But it's gonna be very portioned. It's gonna be just him saying any questions. All right. Editor's note. We don't want to get DCMA. All right. So her actual like set piece, because it's not her death scene, but her set piece inside the with the guillotine. What do you guys think of this bit?
Love it.
Yeah, I agree. It's very suspenseful because obviously we know that is the actual killer. And
Right.
We've assumed that he has, done something to this gag everybody thinks is, going to be going to happen, as far as like it's not going to be real. So it's a good fake out. But then
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the curtains close and they're apparently in a soundproof box at that point, and everybody has left.
So that's the one thing that you have to suspend disbelief on. I actually agreed as well as I was watching it tonight. I just roll with it. It's a slasher movie. It's fun. Didn't really bother me. But I also was like, where did everybody else fucking leave from the stage? Like, is she not backstage? Is he still on stage doing bits? And then like, they're like, hey, get the girl out. And then we got to move on. Does nobody else come back through that portion of the stage? I don't understand.
Right.
Good point, Derek.
This happens to be empty. Yeah.
But
And
it's
soundproof.
still a really cool idea and concept. What do you think of the guillotine being like? So the fact that they have a real metal guillotine, first of all, even though it's not sharpened, but the fact that it's a real metal guillotine is kind of wild to me. Like, I think it would have been funnier and better if he would have done it and it would have just collapsed because it's fucking plastic, and then he
Like
would have had to
foam
figure
or
something else
something.
out.
Foam or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to figure something out.
But
but
the fact that it did kind of still get her,
yeah, it cut her. Yeah.
that really did creep me out, I have to say. Like,
Yeah, I
this whole
agree.
scene, maybe, I don't know if it's just me, but I get super nervous about that kind of stuff. I don't like a guillotine. No.
You should be nervous if your head's in a guillotine, man.
Well,
That's not
yeah,
good.
but I don't know. It like plays on such a specific fear, you know?
Well, the fact that the way the neck is cut, it was really, it was scary because it could have totally, even if, like, he could have dropped it multiple times and chopped through her, which would have been really disturbing. She escapes.
Yep.
But, could have severed her spinal cord, done a lot of stuff. But here's the thing. Two things. One, hate how Quinn dies because it's so fast. Right there. I mean, it's kind of cool because it's in the open, but it's just like, he's dead. Two, we never see Taylor die. She gets stabbed in the stomach and falls down, but we never see her die. If they made a sequel, I can guarantee you she'd be back.
Yeah.
That's why they left her alive.
Yeah.
It's
And
called
we
the
know
Kirby
that
effect.
because it's a flesh
Yeah.
wound at that, because it
Yeah.
did nothing to
The killer.
I don't want to jump too far ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he just shrugged it off like, yeah, no big deal.
Well, that's because he's
I
an
didn't
alpha,
need that
Derek.
kidney. Yes, he's the alpha. You're right.
What do you guys think of Quinn's death and her like just stabbing? I mean, it is kind of cool because it's out in the open. That's when everybody starts to freak out and realizes that this is real. So that's kind of cool. But his death, I think, is just too fast, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. I kind of forgot it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't give Brooke enough time to dwell on it either because she has to run immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fine. That's what happens in these movies. But yeah,
Well, and
do you guys
real
think?
quick,
Do you guys
I-
think Taylor's alive? I think Taylor's alive.
Yeah.
By the way,
I think she is too. You know, I gotta
it's the
say,
Kirby effect. It's the Kirby effect.
yeah, that's kind of the beauty of making a horror movie around this place, right? Is that people are running around and fake killing everybody. It would be really hard, especially like the way that they die, to just be like, oh yeah, like when she was in that haunted house and he kills that one girl and just stabs her in her stomach and she eggs her on, like she just assumes that it's part of the bit. So that is like the beauty of the setting of where this is at. So anyway, we can keep going.
No, I agree. It also, I mean,
Really
that's
like
also what
that.
kind of adds the suspense because everybody you see could be the killer technically, and every jump. And that's the fun thing is we get jump scares that are actually jump scares to our characters. But if you're watching it intensely, it could jump scare you too. So it kind of is a double dip, which is fun. That means it makes it not lazy jump scares. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're kind of layered and interesting. I think it's a great idea to set it at the park. Guys, what do you think of this third act? This third act chase through hell between Brooke, Natalie, and the killer.
We gotta get into it because there's a lot that happens in here.
There is. There's actually a couple things I want to talk about. First of all, I love how smart Natalie is. That she's, she sees that the trip wires, the lasers are the triggers to set the jumps. So they backtrack so that way he thinks they're still going forward. And they try to backtrack to get out, but he'd already broken the door. But like she gets fucked up, or Brooke gets stabbed in the leg. Pretty.
She's like freaking out, and like Natalie's going into like survival mode. Brooke is like triggering every single trap and just like losing her mind.
Yeah. I really love the bit where they're in the room with the masks, right?
Yeah.
Derek, what do you think of this bit?
Yeah, and those masks were very creepy. I liked them a lot.
They actually were, yeah. They actually were.
Could you, you put yourself in that scenario and walking into a room like that.
Dude, I love just the scenario of her having to stand still while he's looking for her, because their hope is that he's just going to keep going. But he stops and turns around and comes back. And so they're just kind of stuck there. I think that bit's great. I think that's really suspenseful. And the fact that he chooses wrong is great because it lets her have the upper hand. And she kind of kicks the shit out of him, literally. Like she smashes that over his back and then kicks him in the ribs like 4 times. She was kind of going about it the right way. She should have grabbed the knife.
She should have done more.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. But she gets fucking smashed in the face with that axe, and he doesn't kill her. I guess he just... Well, the reason he doesn't kill her is because she's running away, and he has to catch her. Natalie's incapacitated, so he's got to catch Brooke before she alerts the police. So he's got to go catch her, which gives Natalie a chance to get up and use a bit that a callback from earlier in the movie when she figured out the way that the mazes work. Earlier in the movie, she points out, hey, so I figured it out. They're going to come out this door. Then they're going to come out this door. Because she figured out, and then she's going to jump back because she figured out how the loop works. So I really love that comes back at the end here. Did you guys like that?
Yeah.
And then the fact that he that because he's triggering all those. It's a really great setup because it's super suspenseful because he's walking up on her, and we see him keeps triggering all these traps, and he's just not paying attention to him. So when he walks through the last laser and it triggers that door open, and she's there and stabs him, you're just like, yeah,
Yes, so good.
like yeah. But then you're like, get on him and start stabbing him in the fucking head. But
Yeah. Double tap that shit.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. But then we don't have the ending. So, what do you guys think of the chase as a whole? This whole third act bit as a whole.
Love it.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I think it's a really good final girl circuit. Yeah.
Super solid, super fun.
Yeah, there's enough moving parts in it that make it interesting. We also have the fake out of the police grabbing the wrong guy that's wearing like the fucking reddest shoes I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I
that was
screamed.
too much.
I was like,
too
red
much.
shoes.
That's not our guy. Yeah, I think it's really good. We get our heroes scene that I love in every slasher movie, and spoiler alert, it's probably going to be in mine when we get there. But the scene where the hero is sitting with the emergency crew after this madness has happened, and they're like, "Hey, we can't find him. He's not there. We see his blood, but there's nobody there. He's gone." And of course, he slipped out. Everybody, all he had to do was take off his mask and walk outside because nobody knew what he looked like.
Yeah.
And he just, walk right out of the house.
I was thinking, like, how thoroughly did they check that mask room?
Yeah. What is going on? So yeah, he could have just been standing there. They didn't look at the hands. That's their fucking problem.
Yeah, they needed.
You gotta look at the hands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hand trick.
I
thought for sure.
I thought they were gonna call.
I thought the hand trick was gonna come up, like for sure, but it doesn't. I thought that he was going to be hiding in the mask room, and she was going to see his hands and realize that he's real.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would have been good.
Instead, thank you. I write movies sometimes. Instead, they used the setup of the other one, which is just as good. They could have done both, I suppose, but that's fine. Guys, what do you think of this ending? Derek, this is your first time seeing it, and I know you've seen it too, Lydia, so we'll talk about your first reaction after. But Derek, what do you think of this ending?
There's a couple of angles to go to this ending. First off, here's why I didn't like it. Too many questions. Like, he got stabbed. Why? Like, there's no... Like, with a knife. Like, a big knife. Like, nothing along those lines. He goes home to... This is where you see all of his previous... You would assume the things that he's done in the past. He's collecting all these masks. And then he goes to a little girl, and you're the music is ramping up, and you're like, what's he going to do? And then it's her dad. And that is the other side of this. It's kind of one of the... psychologically one of the scariest parts of the movie, because it lets you know that, like, this guy is just like anybody else. He's your neighbor. He could be he went home to his little girl, but yet he goes and he does these things. That's the reality of, like, something like this. Like, you never know. But
I really like the ending. I think it's cool.
It is. It's good.
I think it's great. I'm glad that we don't get any answers. That's kind of the point. Probably we'd get answers in the sequel, but it's for you to draw your own conclusions, to decide, who this person is. But I love that after this crazy night of murdering and mayhem and all the shit that happens, he comes home to his quiet suburban house to his sleeping daughter. And we see him take a stuffed animal earlier in the movie, and that's because he got it for his daughter. And he brought it home to her. It's pretty fucking creepy. Pretty good.
Super creepy.
Yeah, pretty cool. What did you think the first time you watched that, Lydia?
Yeah, I think I was just shocked. Just shocked because, yeah, you're right. It's like, which this time I knew, but the first time I was like thinking that he was gonna just like go like continue a rampage and like kill this little kid, and I was like, well, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's not nice.
It's one of those like.
It's a rule. He's breaking the rules.
Leave me with this.
Yeah, that's a horrible way to end this movie. No, it's really interesting. It's a really cool ending, just because it sets up future things. I mean, you could have also have just ended it with him in the ether. That's a classic ending. You'll never go wrong with a he's in the wind ending, I don't think. It's if you do it correctly, because it's kind of a I mean, that's the Carpenter ending. That's the way slasher movies be if the killer survives, is he's still out there. And then you could show him still out there. You could whatever you want to do. But
this guy's still out there, but we have like a little taste of what he's about.
He's a normal guy. He could be anybody.
You get to look in his cabinet of
and in the cabinet you'll see it looks like he's done this, but it doesn't look like he's done it a whole lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
From the mementos you see some. Like the only picture you see is of the girl from the first time. And then you see Natalie's picture in there now. But you see some trinkets, some glasses, some stuff like that. And then you see the whole wall of masks, like 4 to 8 masks in there. And so he puts the one that he's wearing in there. So it's like he does this regularly, but not like he's not Joe from Creep, right? And has like fucking 45 tapes of murders. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting. So pretty cool. I wonder what the backstory to that character is, and I wonder where they're going to go with it if this movie ever had a sequel. Because it's pretty fun, I think. And that is Hellfest. Is there anything that we missed that you guys want to talk about before we get into our ratings and stuff? Well, let's talk about the cinematography is really good, I think, first of all.
I would agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, it cannot be easy to light a movie like this.
In the dark, and yeah. That's good. I think that the cinematography is good. I think the music is pretty solid. And I think the sound design is fucking gangbusters. It sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching it on my surround sound system, and I could just hear it. I was like, pretty good, getting me into the zone. So, Derek, what are your thoughts on Hellfest?
Really great idea, really great concept. The kills were pretty good for the most part. I thought the cast was pretty good. What was the runtime? It was 130 minutes. Or not 130 minutes. It was an hour and 30 minutes. So 89 minutes.
Just under an hour. It's like an hour and 28 minutes before credits. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's appropriate for that. This one's kind of hard. It had a couple of misses, but it didn't have Tony Todd in it. It was pretty good. I'm gonna give this movie. I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna give this movie a 6. It wasn't great, but it was pretty fun.
What do you think, Lydia?
I think I'm gonna give this movie a 7. I actually think this is really good for what it is. Like, this could have easily been a bad movie. In the wrong
very
hands.
easily. Very easily. I've seen it.
Yeah, we've seen it so many times with stuff like this, but this was done really well for this kind of movie. And I don't know, there's something about the carnival hokiness of it. It's done well, it's done right, and I really appreciate that. And I liked all the characters. I like the kills. They're, it's not perfect, but I would highly recommend if you're looking for a Halloween slasher. This is a good option.
Yeah, I'm with you, Lydia. I'm also going to give it a 7. I agree with all those points. I just think it's a really good modern slasher. Like, really solid. It has a great concept, pretty well executed. There's some squabbles here and there, but I think like the direction is very solid. I think it's very slick and well made as well. So you don't have that kind of, there's not a cheap factor to it. And it just, I think it's executed really well. The leads are engaging and the kills are pretty solid. I could have done with a couple more kills, if you want me to be honest. I think that would be the biggest thing I would do is kind of up the kill count a little bit. But you can't go crazy because people would start finding fucking bodies just laying everywhere. But a couple more, I think, would have been appropriate. And maybe a more interesting death for Quinn. I mean, I get why he's killed there because it's kind of shocking and what have you. But it's also, like you said, Derek, it was unmemorable. You even forgot it happened.
Yeah. It proves that it was real, I think, though, because they were looking at her like, Is she just
Yeah,
playing along?
did she
I
get
mean, we
stabbed? And
just
then he gets
just
the
saw
shit
her
stabbed
get
at
her
him.
head chopped off. So
Yeah, exactly. I know what. Yeah, I agree. White's
Yeah.
there. I just wish it was more memorable.
yeah,
Like maybe he could have stabbed him in the head or something, and we could have saw that. You know what I mean? Something
yeah.
more flashy than just that. But all in all, I think it's very, very solid. It's 7 for me as well. Now, guys, it's time for our favorite part of the show. We've got to Atkinize this movie. Who would the great Tom Atkins play in this?
Security guard.
Yeah, almost would have to be
I mean,
because
I
he's too.
don't.
He
We
he
can't
can't
have
play.
Tony
can't
Todd
play-
or anything.
No, he'd have to play the security guard or the killer, I suppose, but we don't see his face.
Right.
So he'd have to be. He would have to be like the security guard.
Little cameo
Because-
somewhere.
Yeah, because the kids, he's too fucking cool to be any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I
true.
was gonna say the one person he absolutely could not be is fucking Gavin. Couldn't be that guy.
Gavin's a good kid. I was like, he's a sweet kid,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's kind of a loser when it
he
comes
could
down
have
to it. I
he
guess
could have played that role really well, but he would have fought back.
he would have fought back, and he also would have. He might get cut. This line might get cut, but he might have been doing some finger blasting in the photo booth.
The camera
Holy
lens
cow.
just shatters.
He fucking falls over.
Seeing it.
Oh, she comes out. Her hair's all tousled. He walks up to the other guy. How you know you're a man?
The Brooke is like, that guy stole your pictures, and they're like, what pictures?
That guy's got a show. Derek,
Okay.
come on. What do you
Terrible.
think of that?
It's a little raunchy for me, but
That would have been right up Joey's alley. You know, all those jokes I just said.
it would have
right up
been.
Joey's
Yeah,
alley.
yeah.
All right. Derek, it's your turn to pick episode 3 of our Halloweenfest. So what are we watching next week?
I think we're gonna watch The Lady in Red or White. Definitely not blue. We're gonna watch The Lady in White, okay?
Derek's humor strikes again.
Oh yeah, you got to be special to put up with that. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna
And
watch
where is
The
that
Lady in
streaming?
White somewhere. I think it's
Wow.
on. I think it's on Tubi
It is not
It's a
currently.
movie.
It is
from a while
Is-
ago.
1988. It is actually on MGM, YouTube, Sling, Fandango, Amazon Prime, Fubo, Lydia,
There we
the
go.
Roku channel, and Philo. That's where it's streaming. The Lady in White. White. The Lady in White.
Can't wait.
Me neither.
And
That's
you
what we're going to watch
guys-
next week.
You guys haven't seen it, and I have, so this is such
Never
a
seen it.
weird episode.
Never seen it. Never
I
heard
don't
of it.
recall seeing it. Maybe I'll be like,
I-
oh yeah. I don't.
Maybe it'll jog your memory a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I got a train.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never seen this, so it'll be a lot of fun to watch it. So that's next week's episode. Be sure to comment down below your thoughts on this movie, Hellfest. What did you guys think? Was it good? Was it bad? Were we crazy for liking it as much as we did? Also, let us know about what movies you want us to do here in the future. Give us some ideas. We'd be glad to do them after Halloween because we have our Halloween slate lined up. But be sure to comment down below. And you can follow us online at Facebook at HiLa Productions. You can follow us at HiLaProductions.com. You can watch us here on YouTube, obviously, and you should totally stay tuned for after this because you'll see a link to the opening scene to our feature film that we are currently in the process of making, Secret Admirer, our very own slasher movie. And we'll see how it compares to Hellfest once it comes out. And, I think it'll compare favorably, honestly. But I'm the writer and director, so that's kind of my job to pitch. But check it out and let us know your thoughts. So, until next week, I need you guys to go find the Lady in White. Tell her, hey, It's after Labor Day. What are you doing? You can't wear white.
Mm-hmm. And my jokes are bad.
That was a great joke. That was a good deep cut, I think. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah,
Lydia
if you're
liked
a 90-year-old lady.
Be sure to comment down below on your favorite Derek joke, the one that made you laugh so hard that you just couldn't stop laughing.
It was probably
Why do we
upside
have no
down.
comments? Why do we have no comments? We'll see you next week, folks. For Derek Lemaster and Lydia Judy, I'm Jamie Hiles. Remember, if you're going to scream bloody movies.